this one to work. Okay, let's start. So first of all, it's a relatively difficult topic and I want you guys to review it at home. Usually if you want to get a good quantitative score, this is what separates people, who get decent scores from people who get better scores. Three-letter padlock safety code consists, now I don't know what that is, but I do know that there is a code, and that code consists of the letters A, B, and C. That means it's possible 3-letter codes are there. So 9, 27, what?
A.
6. Okay. Actually, you're right. 27. Why?
כאילו כפלתי כל אחד באחד, אז הבנתי שכאילו יצא לי כל אחד ל9, ואז כאילו עשיתי 3 כפול 3 כפול 3.
Exactly. Listen, what happens here in Noah is that you have, how many stages, how many places do I have for those questions? 3. Yeah. Exactly. So we have that as well. So you guys are probably going to know this better than most people taking the examination. But still, it does require some adjustment. So, first of all, on this question, I have 3 possible slots, right? It can be the first letter, the second letter, the third letter, right? The first letter, it can be either one of A, B, and C. Now, Noah asked me a very important question. She asked me, can the letter be repeated? Can the letter be repeated? Let's say, for example, I chose B here out of these 3 options. Can I still choose B here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody told me that I'm not allowed to choose the same letter twice. Got it? Good. So that is still going to be ABC, and that is going to be ABC as well. Yes, nobody told you how many possible codes are there, assuming that no letter can repeat itself. Then that would have meant they cannot reuse the same letter. Got it? So if it's ABC, how many options do we have? 3. If it's ABC, 3. If it's ABC, 3. We end up multiplying all of them and we get the correct answer choice, which is 27. Yes?
אני זוכר זה קשור להסתברות.
Exactly. So,
משהו עם העצרת.
yes, we'll talk about that.
זה קשור לשאלה הזאת?
Yes. Not this one, but we'll talk about factorial in a second. The bell itself will go through again. So.
פשוט כל המצבים הוא כפול כל המצבים.
Yes, yes. Now, a couple of things. First of all, when you see these questions, how many possible codes are there, how many arrangements are there, so on and so forth, I want you to follow this MO. So this is combination of probability, MO. זאת שיטת, אתם יכולים לתת לזה שם בעברית, אז זו שיטת עבודה לצורפים והסתברות.
מה זה C?
Combinations of probability, MO. שיטת עבודה לצורפים והסתברות. I want you guys to know it. Literally, Shai, what foils most people is the fact that they don't do the first 2 stages, and that they rush to try to solve a question, and usually they're not going to be able to succeed solving it. So the first thing, quiet please, the first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do, הדבר הראשון שאני מבקש מכם לעשות זה לשאול כמה שלבים או מקומות בשאלה. So how many stages or how many slots does the question require? How many stages or how many slots? Not entirely true, but you do have slots, right? You do have the first letter, second letter, third letter, right? The second thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is to לציין בבקשה קו ותכונה מתחת עבור כל אחד מהשלבים. So indicate a line and a property underneath that line for each one of these stages. נציין קו ותכונה מתחת עבור כל אחד מהשלבים. So in this case, how many stages do we have? Three. So I indicated a line, but I also wanted you guys now to indicate the property. לציין תכונה מתחת לכל אחד מהקווים. בסדר? לציין קו ותכונה מתחת עבור כל אחד מהשלבים. So here the property was, well, it can be ABC, ABC, and ABC, right? The third thing that I'm going to ask you guys to do is לציין מספר אפשרויות עבור כל אחד מהקווים ולכפול. So indicate the number of possibilities for each one of these lines and multiply.
For each slot.
Now, before that, Gabriel just said, I want everybody to think, תשמעו לעצמכם בבקשה, לחשוב בצורה כרונולוגית. So I want you guys to think about it chronologically. What's wrong? לציין קו ותכונה מתחת, פסיק, עבור כל אחד מהשלבים.
קו ותכונה מתחת לקו. לא סטייג המקביל. לפי חוק הפרלמנט. לא משנה.
קו ותכונה. קו ותכונה מתחת. לא, זה נאום וזה נאום. נכון, זה לא...
קו ותכונה מתחת לקו. זה חשוב.
I want you to think about it chronologically. Now, what does it mean to think about it chronologically? You'll see in a second, right? But basically, how many options do I have here for the ABC? 3. For the ABC, 3 for the ABC, and then I simply ask you guys to multiply and you get a 27. What you see here, I know this is a tall order, but on the SATs it solves about 85% of the questions. Only these very, very simple 3 stages. Solves most of the questions. Now, there is another stage, and that is the stage number 4, and that is the stage for very, very difficult questions, but I'm going to leave that open for now. So just leave about 5 lines here. I'm going to get back to that in a second. You do have, it took me about 7 years to come up with a 4th stage, which really solves the difficult questions. So this is not sufficient. It's sufficient for 85% of questions that show up, but you do need to understand something that's important. That I'm assuming, Gabriel, because your quantitative capabilities are quite good, that if you're asking me combinations questions, for example, you know, half of them are going to fall here, and half of them will require, you know, a more complex stage. Now, before I'm going to continue, I also want you to, so please leave enough room for the 4th stage, but in addition to that, I want you guys to also write that on these questions, if I were to tell you, what is 3 and 8? Most of you would say 3 and 8 is 11, right? Because when you speak, when you say and, usually you're talking about addition, right? Not here. On these questions, if you're saying and is multiplication. If you're saying or is addition. Now, yes, of course. Let's say you can, you want to go out for a movie tonight. Let's say you can take the car, you can take the train, or you can take a plane. And you can watch movie 1 or movie 2, right? How many options do you have to go to a movie while using one of these vehicles? How many options? So you can say, I can take the car to movie 1 or to movie 2. I can take the train to movie 1 or to movie 2. I can take the plane to movie 1 or to movie 2. Exactly, we have 6 options. I just counted them for you, right? So how do you get 6 from 3 and 2? From a vehicle and a movie. How do you get 6? You need to multiply. Got it? So and means multiplication. However, if I were to ask you, okay, you have these 5 options, and I want you to either, you know, just wander about in a vehicle or watch one of these movies. How many options would you have had? You would have told me, okay, it can be either a car or movie 2, either a train or movie 1 or plane. In that case, you would have had 5 options. Got it? So, or one of these separately is altogether it's 5. But if you combine one of these and one of these, you get 6 options all told. אם הייתי שואל אותך כמה אפשרויות יש סתם לנסוע באחד מכלי התחבורה האלה, או לצפות באחד מהסרטים. לא להגיע לסרט באמצעות אחד מכלי התחבורה, אלא סתם לנסוע להלתך במכונית.
כמה דברים יש.
נכון, בדיוק, בסך הכל 5, 3 ו-2. Now here, by the way, I told you to multiply. So what I was implying that usually on these questions you have this and that. Why is that the case here? And it was correct. You made a very classic mistake, so I'll explain that in a second. So why, Rubik, why is it and here? Why do you need to multiply here? Exactly. A code, a 3-letter padlock safety code, consists of the first letter and the second letter and the third letter. Got it? You need to get all of them correctly. If the code is, let's say, for example, ACC, and you just click on the A, it's not going to open, right? You need both you need the first one, the second one, and the last one. Got it? Good. So again, as I told you guys, please leave some room here. Please go ahead and solve question number 2. Go ahead. כמה שלבים יש? לציין תכונה, ואז לציין אפשרויות. לחשוב בצורה כרונולוגית.